Here's some great news to share. The Canadian Tulip Festival is back, and this is a really special year, by the way, celebrating their 70th anniversary. Here to give us all the details and, of course, a background on the Canadian Tulip Festival, I'm joined by Joe Riding, the Executive Director of the Canadian Tulip Festival. Welcome, Joe. Great to see you.
Great to see you too, Derek.
Joe, this has been probably the most attended. I mean, if you just look at the years that have gone by and how many people go through the Tulip Festival each and every year, give us a brief history on the festival.
So you're right. This is our 70th anniversary. So the very first festival was in 1953. That was created by the famous photographer Mallet Karsh and the Ottawa Board of Trade. And the reason they did that was because the tulips, which had been given to all Canadians after the Second World War by the grateful Netherlands, kept drawing so many crowds every year that they thought, wouldn't it make sense if we made a festival around this? And so that's how it came to be. And now here we are, May 13 to 23 is our Platinum Jubilee.
Wonderful. And we're just looking at some of the visuals here. It is so beautiful. Like, how long does it take to plant and put in these? Like, how many thousands of tulips are we talking about, Joe?
So the National Capital Commission, that's Canada's official gardener.
Right.
So they are the ones that are in charge of the plantings. So what I always say is they plant them, we celebrate them.
Nice.
So they plant 1 million tulips across the whole city.
Wow.
And the festival site is at Dow's Lake or Commissioner's Park, if you're not from Ottawa. And at that site, there's the single most concentration of tulips of 300,000 in that park, over 26 beds.
Well, because it is a big anniversary celebrating 70 years, you have some big plans this year. Tell us what you've got planned.
We sure do. So, of course, we are free to the public for the duration of the festival. We've got daytime programming with our Tulip Legacy walking tour, as well as daily bingo with prizes. There's plein art painting out in the park. You can watch the masters do their work. There's our Tulip Town for kids. There's also the Tulip Boutique, which is brought to you by the Tulip team at Remax. That's full of 8 different vendors featuring uniquely tulipy offerings.
Nice.
So all handcrafted woodwork, candlework, all of that sort of thing. And then we switch over for our new nighttime programming
that's
year.
exciting. So let's talk about that. You have the Blacklight Boardwalk. Tell me a little bit about that. That sounds like it's going to be incredible, especially in the spot that you've chosen for it.
That's it. It's going to be really something. So starting from Dow's Lake Pavilion, running all along the Dow's Lake Boardwalk, we will have 16 different tulip planters, and the whole thing is going to be lit up with UV or blacklight.
Right.
And the reason we're doing that is not just because glowing is super cool, but because it's how the pollinators see the tulips. So when they open up and they spread their pollen everywhere, the bees and the butterflies, they see a completely different picture than we do. So we'll be open in the park from 8 till 10. We're encouraging people to come see tulips in a whole new light. So Commissioner's Park will be lit. The boardwalk will be lit up with black light. And then we've also got a fantastic new nighttime tour as well.
Yeah, that's the Ghost in the Glebe walking tour. Yeah, give us the details on that tour.
This one really tugs at the heartstrings. So you join your guide, who is a local resident from 1948, just shortly after the war. And they take you around to a few different places and introduce you to folks who left the neighborhood right beside the festival in the Glebe, and who didn't return in the fight for freedom.
Wow.
And so it's incredibly powerful. So the ghosts will step out of the dark and deliver their stories and then step back into the shadows. And what really got me is when we were putting it together, the final stop on the tour, you can see the fella's house from the park. So
Really?
you know that, yeah, that he and his brother would have played right there in Commissioner's Park, and that these tulips, they were given to us for a reason, a real sacrifice for freedom, and it's our honor to continue commemorating and celebrating the sacrifice for freedom and the victory as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, you did touch on the Tulip Legacy walking tours. Can you just expand on that a little more?
Absolutely. So, in that case, we're going through, I believe it's 10 different beds over 45 different breeds of tulips that you'll get to meet and know personally.
Right.
And then it also talks about the Queen Juliana gift bed, this very special connection we have with the Netherlands when we played host to their royal family. And the Princess Margriet was born just a block away from the festival site at the Ottawa Civic. And of course, they had declared that Dutch for the day. So
Beautiful.
only royal person ever born here.
Really looking forward to it. Joe, thanks so much for joining us. A reminder that happens May 13th to the 23rd. We'll be back with more Daytime right after this.